What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel, or if you are new here, welcome. Today is an exciting day, guys, because today Stranger Things Season 5 drops, but it is premiering at 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So what that means is we are filming this video a few days early, but we are filming this video for you guys and dropping it today when Stranger Things 5 airs early in the morning for you guys. So then that way we can kind of you guys can see our theories and such, and then we can come back here and see if we were right or wrong once we do our volume 1 predictions, at least for right now, because they are splitting it into volumes. So we'll see.
You mean the volume 2 predictions? Like we're good.
Yeah, when we do our volume 2 predictions, then we can like kind of see if we were right or wrong and all that kind of.
Or if we wanted to change the fates of certain characters, because the characters that we have high, there could be things that happen in the first time that we say now the odds of them dying are lower.
Yeah,
or the odds of this person dying are skyrocketed.
Yeah, it could be vice versa. So we'll have to see, but basically that's what we're going to do, guys. We're going to run through all the characters, at least the big characters that we know are in season 5, and we're going to run through them and then give our kind of likely to die or not likely to die kind of scenarios, and then we're going to get and if we want to add a percentage, we could, but then also after that we're also going to talk about characters who are returning, because there are predictions as to seeing maybe 8 come back. There's predictions on maybe seeing Eddie Munson come back in certain form, in either as a D&D villain, because apparently I'll get into that theory, or as a flashback. So there's definitely some return kind of stuff that could happen there. And then overall, if we just have any final predictions, we'll just run them by and just talk about like any other kind of theories that we might have towards the end of the video. But I'm super duper excited to get into this. One of my favorite shows. Cannot believe it's coming to an end. It is really sad. I love all these characters. And while I know this is not Game of Thrones, this is not Game of Thrones in the sense of constantly there's going to be a character death. We have already established this. The Duffer Brothers don't like to kill off any of the major characters, but because this is the final season, I do think there will be some major character deaths, but I do not think that this is going to be one of those where you're just going to see almost the whole ensemble cast die. Like, I think they're going to pick and choose, and there's just going to be a few, maybe like a couple per volume. So you might get like a couple deaths in volume 1, a couple deaths in volume 2, maybe and then maybe multiple deaths in the finale or something. I don't know.
Would be great is if they killed off 3 major characters, not side characters, like major characters.
Oh yeah, like a season 1 character, like one that started from the beginning.
Yes, or at least a season 3 character, like I could see Robin or Murray.
Murray makes sense because we'll get to him, but he's been around since season 2, so he is someone who's actually been around for a good while. So
what I could see them doing is having a big death, then this one that drops now.
Yeah.
And then have like another one, or maybe even 2 deaths in the Christmas one, and then at least one more big death. And I think this will be like I wouldn't be shocked if there's 2 or 3 people that die in the finale.
Yeah, I think that they're gonna kill off. I think they're gonna kill off like several side characters that we really like, but and even some of the newer side characters. I think that you're going to see a lot of deaths this season just from like side characters. But I think in terms of major characters, I kind of agree with you. I think they're only going to kill like maybe 1 or 2 this volume, then maybe 1 or 2 the next volume, and then maybe more in the finale. But
what would break my okay, Okay, so I'm ready to dive into the names.
I am too. So we're first going to start off with the main character of season 5. Apparently, the Duffers have confirmed it. They said he is the main character of season 5. They said that he, it brings the show full circle because he was the main character in season. It's sort of the main character. I mean, he wasn't in season 1, but he was. Everything revolved around him, and that's Will. Will is kind of the start of the story, and then I hear he's gonna go full circle by making him the actual lead character this season. So it'll be interesting to see what he does. For me, so sort of like I'm giving it a range of I'm on the lookout for it, but I do not think it's going to happen. My percentage chances for him is 25%. I think that it's kind of low because I think that people are saying, "Oh, he's going to die," but I think here's the thing that is the issue I have with it is that one, he's been through so much trauma, and are you saying that like what trauma wins or something? Like I just feel like he goes through so much trauma throughout this series, and then on top of that, he is one of the only couple queer characters that we have on this show. So it would just feel a little bit like, are we really going to kill like the gay guy on here? But we could kill the person he's in love with, Mike. But I just feel like, are we really going to kill his, the actual gay character on the show?
I think they are going to kill him off, and he's going to go out as a hero. He is going to go out like either like possessed or something, and basically he's going to break away from the possession for a few minutes and say, "You guys need to kill me," and he's going to be like the hero, the one that sacrificed his life for Hawkins.
See, I have a different character. Once we get to her, I have a different character that I think is going to do that for Hawkins. But Will definitely, I could see that being a possibility. That's why it's not 0 for me. It's 25%. But what would be your percentage, you think, for Will to die if you were?
I'd say a range of 60 to 70.
All right, cool. So yeah, I'll do about, I guess, 65% for you, just so
I
between
do
60
think
and
that he's gonna die.
Yeah, because that definitely it seems like it could be a really good possibility, but it also seems like, maybe he'll get out safe, and maybe Joyce might wind up like sacrificing herself for him or something along those lines happens. But we will definitely see. I have heard people say that like because people are predicting that Will get powers. I don't think that's going to happen, but I do think Vecna is going to take over Will, and maybe they can talk Will into kind of being himself, like his Will self is still in there, while he also has Vecna's abilities. And I think he might kill the entire hive mind using Vecna's abilities, and then like Vecna gets weaker or something because of that. We'll have to see, but I think something like that could happen. But if he does die, this is a character, because there's some that we're talking about could die maybe in volume 2, volume 1. This is a character who would not die until the final episode of the show.
I agree. I agree. His death would be like the big final death.
Yeah. It would be the big finale kind of emotional death for here. But speaking of emotional death, one that would be super emotional for Will, we have the Heart, as he likes to call him, Mike. So what are your, I'll let you go first on here. What is like your percentage range on Mike dying? And if you think and what do you think he
I'm putting him at 50%. And I will explain why. Because I think either him or somebody else is going to die So I'm putting them both at 50% each, and saying like, I think one of these two are going to bite it this season. Not just because of the Will connection, but because of 11.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I could see that scenario. I can also see some people are saying that maybe Mike does die, but then like as Mike is dying or something, Will confesses his feelings, and then like Mike is just like smiles or something and says that like he kind of has felt the same way but been afraid to say it or something, and it could be like, oh god, and it could just be super emotional. Or maybe if Eleven dies, they could end the show on maybe Mike has suppressed feelings he just never knew about himself, and maybe Will and Mike are in game,
or
and
maybe
end up
or
being together.
or something else that I would love is, even if Mike didn't have feeling for Will, he basically admits the friendship for him meant so much to him that he didn't care.
Yeah.
Like his friendship, even though he likes women, he does not care. He loves him for who he is on the inside. Basically, he likes him for who he is on the inside, not for who he likes to, not for who has like emotional feelings for. He doesn't care about the gender of the person that he has feelings for,
Yeah. I could see something along those lines. Plus, there is also a shot too that we get in the trailer where you actually have Mike. He's like doing exactly what Will talked about, where he is like guarding everyone like this with his hands out, guarding all of like these new characters, Joyce and Will, and he has his hands out while the Demogorgons are about to break through. So maybe in episode 4 he could be the big death, because it looks like that's going to be in episode 4. That's where the military base gets all taken over by Demogorgons, and maybe see something along those lines happen with him trying to protect the rest of the crew, and maybe he gets them out of there, but then because he's the heart, he decides to fight some of these Demogorgons or something, and then like dies in the process or something. But for me, I do have Mike. For me, I have him at like 30. Actually, I'm gonna change it. I'm gonna switch it out for some characters. So I have Mike as the most likely to die out of all the kids. Well, not including 11. We'll get to her, but in terms of the original gang there,
yes,
because I initially had somebody else as the highest of the kids, but I think they're trying to mislead us with it.
yes,
But yeah, I'll put Mike at 46%. So I think that there is a really strong chance that could happen. But I also do think I'm putting it under 50%, because I do think that maybe there's a shot that he makes it out, and if Will dies, maybe that's an emotional character moment for Mike. But yeah, I do know a buyer is gonna die this season, because Vecna kind of told Nancy that in the vision, and it looks like from all the trailers, from all the posters, from all the marketing, it looks like, at least until the finale, once Vecna bites the dust, it looks like that whole vision of what he has for Hawkins is going to actually come into fruition for a good while. And I think that part of that is his revelation that a Byers is going to die. So, or not Byers, a Wheeler is going to die. That's what I meant to say. But we'll have to see which one. So, next up, we have, and then I'm giving this picture out because this is the photo that everyone's like, oh no, he's toast, he's a goner, and all this stuff. We have Lucas Sinclair. Now, the reason why this photo I have out is there is in the trailer, he's in this tunnel right here, and there's a shot of like a Demogorgon crawling like right in front of him. He's got blood on his shirt. And then in the most recent Volume 1 trailer that just dropped, he has that Demogorgon walking in front of him. He turns around with a crowbar, and he has a Demogorgon walking behind him. So it's one of those things where it's just sort of like, oh, dude, you're freaking cornered, bro. How are you going to get out of this? Now, I was. There's also another shot in the trailer where he is holding Max in his arms, and you see the Demogorgon like chasing him while he's in the elevator, and the Demogorgon gets pretty close to the elevator as he's in the elevator with Max. Either one of those two could be a death scene, or they could also be just completely misleading us, because from what I've heard rumor wise, I've heard that this is in like volume 1, and then basically the scene of him holding Max on the elevator while the Demogorgon's about to get in the elevator is in like episode 7. So I think that this could be some just misdirection from them to make us think that Lucas is going to die, and then it could just, be like, oh shit.
I have him as the least likely of the kids to die.
Oh, really?
I have him as like either the least likely or second least likely of the kids to die.
Yeah. Because
if you know of you were talking about the gay character thing.
Oh yeah.
Oh, wouldn't the same thing apply? Oh, they're killing the black guy. The typical horror movie trope, you know?
Yeah.
The horror movie trope kills the person of color, you know? But again, that usually happens like very early on in like horror movies. That's like the cliche. This is the last season, so if they did do that, it wouldn't be like that bad. But I do not think they're going to do that.
Yeah. Well, what would you give him percentage wise?
I'm going to put him at 10%.
10%. Yeah, I can see that. For me, I have him a bit higher. I have him at like 30%, and the only reason why I have him at 30 is basically I do think they're misleading us with this marketing, but just because of the marketing, I have him at 30. But also, he is the type that if he wanted to, if he needed to, he would sacrifice himself for Max, and he would, if there was a case of they're coming after Max, he would definitely sacrifice himself for her, or even Erica, or any of these characters if they ever get in danger. He would definitely sacrifice himself for something like that. So, speaking of Erica, that is a really good transition and to talk about Erica Sinclair, everyone's favorite kid on the show. No, she's a warming up on me, but I will say this: Erica, she is feisty, she is strong, and in my opinion, she has the least likely chance of death out of all of my death predictions. So I have her at 3%. I just do not think they would even come close to killing Erica. It really serves no purpose. She's way too young. I feel like that would just be like far too cruel. And she's also just like, I feel like there's more to her story. Like if you killed Lucas instead, it could make an emotional arc for Erica or something. There's still more to tell.
I agree. I agree with you. I'll put her at like 7%. There is one kid character that I have like at almost like 0% for one reason.
Oh, we'll definitely get to that soon then. But for me, the next one we will talk about someone else who's close to Lucas. We have Max, and I'm gonna put Max pretty low, because I think that if you were gonna kill her, it would just feel like a cop out to have her die in this season after she's already in a coma. It's like you should have just killed her in season 4. You're just gonna kill her. It would just feel kind of like a cop out. Like, why didn't you just kill her in season 4 when you had the chance? So because of that, I am gonna lean like a 10% chance for Max. I really don't think it's happening. I only have 10% in case she sacrifices herself for Lucas or something. But like, I think she's gonna wake up and she's gonna come out of this and live happily ever after. I don't know happily ever after if she loses someone close to her, but she's gonna live at least. And I think that there's no chance of her dying. What do you think?
I'm putting her at 0%. Like,
Yeah,
I feel that no way they would have done this already. If she was gonna die, they would have killed her off like season and earlier on. They would not have pulled the she's in a coma thing if they were gonna kill her off. They would have been like, she's dead. Season 4, she died.
yeah.
And
it's not like a Hopper situation. But even Hopper is a little lower for me. But like, it's not Hopper's not 0% because it's not a chance of it. They actually showed you in that season that that was like, I guess it was also just like a couple seasons ago that they did that, so it wouldn't feel like as fresh. This is literally the last season that Max was supposed to die and she didn't. So
but again in the Hopper situation, this season was so long ago, that it feels like it's been a couple of seasons.
Yeah,
so
that's true.
I feel like they could do that because it's been so long.
Yeah.
It's not like another show, Only Murders in the Buildings that I love. They almost killed off Martin Short, but he managed to just survive. And then the next season, 1 year later, they actually killed him off. It would be like, hey, you just pulled that, now he's actually dead. Where this would feel at least like okay, last season was a few years ago.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think that so that's why I really don't think Max is going to die. We'll get to Hopper here soon, but the next kid up that we have is Dustin, little Dusty Bun, the as Susie likes to call him.
Yes.
I'll let you go first since I know Dustin's one of your favorite characters. What do you think?
I do not see him dying.
Yeah.
For some reason, I have this thing in my heart saying they would not kill off Dustin. The only way I could see that happening is if one thing happened.
Yeah, I think I know. It's like if he sacrificed himself for Steve because he doesn't want to relive the trauma that he went through with Eddie or something. I could see.
If he said I couldn't save Eddie, but it can save you.
Yeah, something along those lines. So I could. That's why for me, I'm putting Dustin at 20%. So still very low, but I'm putting him at 20%.
Yes.
In case of him making that choice to say, Steve, I couldn't save Eddie, but I can save you, and he does something like that. But I don't think it would happen again until like near the very end of the series because everyone loves Dustin. But
I think again that would be either last or second to last.
Yeah,
episode.
I think so as well. So where do you have Dustin at? And
I have him around the same percentage as you. 20% seems fair.
Yeah, I think that seems fair. It's low, but it's also not like too low. It's not too high. It's like in that range of like it could, but it's very, very minimal. Next, we have the other kid that's been with us since the beginning. Another kind of fake out death we had there in season 1 with Eleven. Now, Eleven, in my opinion, I think is going to die. And here is why. I don't have her at 100 though, but here is why I think that Eleven is going to die. Is Millie Bobby Brown was in an interview. All these other people have been saying like, oh yeah, great season, yada yada yada. She said she like went and read her final few pages, and then she literally said to herself, "Oh," and then had to back away real slowly. And that's was apparently what she said in the interview in a response. And I was saying to myself, I was like, okay, so either she's going to die, to save everyone and make that final sacrifice. And they set up in season 4, she's the one that kind of caused Vecna to happen because she opened up the gate, sent him in there, all this stuff happened. So she could be the root end of it all by sacrificing herself. Or maybe she can close the Upside Down, but she's going to pull off like a Loki and Loki season 2 kind of deal where she stays behind, is still alive, but she stays behind and just basically controls all of the Upside Down from then on out. And so like nothing in the Upside Down could ever interfere with Hawkins ever again.
My other theory is what if Mike or Hopper pulls off like a sacrifice for her?
Yeah,
like,
that could happen as well.
Like,
I think especially
planning, like the plan is 11 is gonna die. 11 is gonna die. She has got to die.
Yeah.
And then 11 agrees. Last split second, Hopper pushes her down, steps in front.
I could see that also happening because it looks like through a lot of this season in the trailers that we see and such, it looks like Hopper and 11 are going to be together in the Upside Down doing stuff together. And maybe at one point,
they're
God, about to get out. And then
my God, I have the best theory ever.
What?
Hopper says, I couldn't save my daughter, but I could save you.
Oh, that would be, oh my God, that would be so emotional.
And then he dies, saying he couldn't save his first daughter, but he could save his second.
Oh man, that would be so emotional.
And that would be like his character coming full circle of the emotions.
And then if they decide they don't want to kill either one off, if the theories are true that 8 is coming back and that she might help 11 try to take down Vecna or try to do whatever she can, I could see something of like 11 is about to sacrifice herself and then she's like 8 is like, you have a dad, you have a man who loves you, you have stuff to live for, get out of here, kid. And she pushes 11 and like maybe 8 kills herself and closes everything and ends up like saving the Upside Down and Hawkins and all that stuff after dying and everything. I don't think if they make us really connect with 8 this season, it could be emotional, but it wouldn't be as much of a gut punch as like an 11 or Hopper for sure. But
this Hopper theory is becoming more like an I hope that is the way they go.
Yeah.
Because that is full circle. It
is full circle. And I don't think he would want to live in a life without his daughter.
And then imagine Joyce at first being like, no, he's not dead. This happened last time. And then guess what happens?
What?
The body comes out.
Oh, yeah.
Like we see, like she actually sees Hopper's corpse. Like, because if you can remember season 3, he was pushed down. And that's why he fell down. That's why he managed to escape. That's why he's alive. Imagine if this season we saw the body.
Yeah, I could I could see something like that happening, and that would be really emotional. Or maybe he comes out and he's like about to die, but he has some final parting words for Joyce as she's holding him in his arms and everything. I could see something like that as well.
Something else I would love is him to talk to Mike.
Yeah,
because I mean, if you remember season 3, he did not like Mike.
No.
And season 4, they had that cute hug at the end, but at the end of the day, they didn't really have much interaction. Just here, hearing the Hopper accepts Mike.
True. So so real quick, what are your predictions on 11, and then or your percentage on 11 and your percentage on Hopper, since I had them both side by side anyways?
I have 11. I'll put her at, I'll be, say, 65%. But for Hopper, I'm going to put him 75 to 80. Because Millie Bobby Brown's reaction, like, I'm starting to think that is not her death. You know why?
Why?
Wouldn't she have gotten some flack from the studio?
Yeah, I mean,
like you just spoiled your death. Like,
yeah, I think so, but also at the same time, by her, like, if the studio would have actually said anything, then that would have confirmed to people that that's what she was referring to, and then so like she could have put the studio in just that kind of iffy situation.
So I actually think that I'm actually starting to think that it's going to be Hopper.
I'm gonna
before at him and Mike at like 50% and 50%, but the more I'm saying this theory is the more I'm like, you know what, fuck it. I actually think it's gonna be Hopper.
Yeah, I'm gonna put Hopper at like, I'm gonna put him at 60. So I'm gonna go lower than you because I do think there is a chance that maybe he could still make it out. But I think that he is the type of person who might feel like, yeah, he would lose Joyce and 11, but he knows that if Joyce lives in the season, that she can take care of 11, that she can take care of, all the other kids. I think he's going to feel like he really has nothing left to lose, basically. And, he would be willing to die.
And the whole daughter thing,
Yeah.
He lost his daughter. I can save you. I could do what I didn't do for my real daughter.
And what if you even had like the scene where she's about to sacrifice herself, and then you remember in like season 1 when he's giving Will CPR and he's like being like, "Come on, kid," and then it transitions to a flashback of his daughter as trying to get resuscitated, and it keeps on doing that. I could see something of like maybe 11 is about to close it and she's like standing up or whatever, and then he has a vision seeing his daughter like actually physically there with him, like his blonde daughter as like the one actually doing everything, and then he's just like and that's what makes him come to the realization that he needs to make the sacrifice. So
yes,
I could see that. It would, and it would also be.
This theory is making me incredibly emotional, and we have not even gotten to the death that is like I have high, but I want to be wrong.
I know. It's just like I don't want any of these major characters to die, but I just think it's so possible, like especially with how certain things could play out. And there is a shot too of like Hopper holding grenades, and he's like smiling, and from the trailer, it looks like he's smiling with a tear in his eye as he's throwing grenades behind him or something. And I could see maybe maybe he's like fighting them off or something, and he's throwing grenades, he's doing all this stuff, and it's a big fight that he has. Like they don't kill him off just right then and there. Like he fights until he dies or whatever. But we'll see. But next up, we have Joyce Byers. So this is Hopper's love interest, Eleven's mom, kind of fitting. So we have Joyce, and for me, I'm gonna put Joyce at a solid, like, I'm gonna put her at like a 30%, because I think that there's a chance it could happen that she would step in front of like Will or anything like that. There's definitely that chance for that to happen. But I think that at the end of the day, I think that she will still live in some capacity, whether it's to be Eleven's mom, whether it's to keep on taking care of Will, or if like Karen Byers dies and then she has to take care of, or Karen Wheeler dies and then she has to take care of, you know, the other like Holly Wheeler and all that stuff. I
Yeah.
see Joy. I could see Joyce just being that mother figure to somebody.
I'm gonna put her at 50% because here's my thoughts. If
Mhm.
Hopper dies, I don't think she's gonna die.
Yeah.
If Hopper is still alive, she would die for Will because she knows that Hopper will be and Hopper like vows to be the parent, like
Yeah.
since she took care of 11. He's like, don't worry about Jonathan and Will, I've got them. And or something else I could see happening. This series is incredibly dark.
Mm-hmm.
After if Will dies,
Yeah.
she commits suicide.
Yeah, I don't know that. I don't think that would happen. I think that that's a little too dark. But I do think that
because so many mothers
yeah,
have that. If my kids die, I would have nothing else to live for.
yeah, that's how like my mom feels. So it's
So that's why I could see the suicide thing happening.
Yeah, I mean, I could see it, but I think that that would be a lower percentage than her dying to like sacrifice, to as a sacrifice for Will or something.
Or maybe it's like a Will's already dead or something.
Yeah.
Or maybe he dies in like the second to last episode, and then she's hearing that Jonathan Byers is next.
And maybe
And she's like, I can't lose both of my sons.
Yeah, what could I could see also happening maybe is like Will dies or something, and it's like Joyce ends up actually being the one to get the final blow on Vecna and actually be the final kill to kill Vecna, and then but maybe in the process while she's doing that she's just like, you took my son from me, you goddamn son of a bitch or something, and then she like blows herself up with Vecna or something, or kills, Vecna in a way like that or something. I could see something along those lines.
I could
Like
see
avenging his death or something. Yeah.
I could see this movie pulling a Kingsman 2.
Yeah. I could see that.
You get the reference, right? Where?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Merlin standing on the bomb. He knows that he's gonna die, but he says, "I have to die for the greater good. I have to die to kill this thing." And so she accepts it and kills it, and she dies saving it.
Yeah. I could definitely see something along those lines happening. We'll have to see, but I feel good about those numbers. Now Murray is our next one. Murray Bauman. Everyone's kind of funny, kind of goober guy. This is somebody who I think is this is easily my first 100% for Death Wise. I think we see him in the marketing. He's barely in any of the footage, and the volume 1 trailer, it shows a bunch of Demogorgons attacking a truck that has him and Robin in it, and they're like, "What's happening?" And then Murray's like, "I don't know, but I'm loving it," and all this stuff, and he's like driving in the car or whatever. I think that Murray would like blow himself up in the truck with a bunch of Demogorgons as he's saying some like Russian phrase or something like that, and then goes and kills himself in some badass way and blows up a bunch of Demogorgons with him in the truck. I could see something along those lines happening. I just think Murray is that perfect character you kill off because it would affect us all because we all love Murray. He's a fun guy. We all think he's great. He's funny, but he's also an adult. So it's not like, okay, this is too dark for them to kill a kid.
I really do not want Murray to die.
Also, I think that Murray, he is that perfect death because if you kill him off, he doesn't have family waiting for him. There's no one there waiting for him. So he's a character that, like, he doesn't have family. He doesn't really have anyone in his life like that that's close to him. So you're not affecting them either. So I think that killing off Murray honestly is the most feasible option that you go with out of any major character this show. I think
I have him at 60% only for
really? Wow. Okay.
Only for one reason as well.
Why?
When if you have a show like this that is so dark and so depressing and so dark.
Well, I know what you're going to say, but the thing is, they have so many comic relief characters already. They got Dustin, they've got Steve as a comic relief.
Dustin is not going to be the comic relief this season. He is going to be depressed after the death of Eddie, but
Robin and Steve are also both comic relief characters, and it looks like they're going to stay the same way.
I think in season 4, they became a lot more serious. So I see Murray. I still am putting that he's going to die, but I see him as the crazy guy that, once a very serious thing is going on, he'll just be the guy that says a funny little quip, hey, that's Murray for you,
Yeah. And I also know too that not to talk about an actor's personal beliefs, but apparently the actor who plays Murray has been saying some not so popular stuff on Twitter when it comes to Israel and Palestine and that whole thing. And so if he started saying that stuff while shooting was going on or while the writing process was going on, I could see them maybe saying okay, because of what he said personally, maybe let's find a cool way to kill him off or something. But
I don't think so. Only for one reason.
What's that?
This is the first time that I've heard of this.
Yeah, that's true. A lot of people.
No, I see him. He's not as prolific as a. Can I give you an example?
Sure.
When the Snow White remake was coming out, Rachel Zegler.
Yeah.
Everybody was whether you like what you're saying or not, I personally felt like she got way too much hate personally. But
I agree too.
You know what her thoughts were. You knew that. So, but with Murray, I'm I have no clue.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good point.
He's not big enough to really have that happen.
Yeah, but he is that big enough character that if they did kill off anyone this season,
oh yes, I think it would be incredibly emotional. I agree.
Yeah, it would be really sad, and I think that he's someone who you definitely could do that with. So yeah, we'll see. But speaking of Murray, we'll go to another comic relief character, and it looks like they're both going to be having scenes together. But I also have Robin up next, one of your favorite characters, and I'll let you, since I know it's one of your favorites, I'll let you go on first on her. What you think?
I am putting her at 20%, only for one reason.
Why?
Even though she is important, and even though she is big enough, other than Steve and maybe Dustin, what would her death have an effect on other than in the main characters?
Yeah, I would say if anything, it would have an effect on Steve. It would have an effect
I said other than Steve and Dustin.
Other than Steve, it would have an effect on Vicky, I guess, and it would have an effect on Nancy, because remember her and Nancy
Yes.
recently started.
I
working
don't
together, so.
I don't really see them killing off her for some reason. I feel as if she is even though she's still important, she's still a smaller character. I feel like if they were to kill off a character in that category, it would be Murray, as we just were mentioning.
Yeah.
So I'm putting her at 20%. Now it could be biased because she's like my third favorite character in the series.
Yeah, and I will say this, like, I'm not really worried about her. I'm still gonna put her at 25% in case she was to like give herself up for Vicky and then confess her feelings for Vicky or something. In case they went a route like that, I'm putting her there, but it's still a very low percentage because I think that looking at all the marketing, I've been trying to look at as much marketing as I can. I've usually tried to avoid it, but for predictions purposes, I tried looking at a bunch of marketing, and in several shots, it looks like she has different costume changes throughout the season. And in the shots that she has with Murray, by the way, only has one costume in all of the marketing I've seen for the season. But that, which makes me think that maybe in that scene when he's driving in the truck with her, maybe he like pushes her out and then he gives up himself and dies or something in that truck and blows up a bunch of different words. She just sees his like truck blow up or something and you know, and all that kind of stuff. So I think that Robin, but yeah, I think Robin has that definitely, she has a small chance, but at the end of the day, I think that she's gonna be one of the ones to actually come out on top and make it out. Because also, if they do decide to kill Will, I also think it would be very shitty to kill off both queer characters.
I think there's a bigger chance to kill off Will than Robin.
Yeah.
I'm saying, if they were to kill off a queer character, I think it would be Will. Will, like, I can make a strong point for Will, not as strong for Robin. I'm like, so I feel kind of like I may actually lower her to 10%.
Yeah.
Because so I see her on the level of like a Max, where I do not think they would kill her off. She's probably like my second lowest character to die, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think she's pretty low. I don't think that they would do that, but
her, Lucas, and Max are the three characters of the core group that of the big groups that I'm like, I seriously do not think they're gonna die.
Yeah, and the only reason why I think there's a very, very, very slim chance, and I mean very, very slim, only reason why I think there's a very, very slim chance is because the Duffer Brothers, as of yet, have proved they don't like killing any major characters off, and she is a minor character. And that's literally the only reason I give it a slim chance. But I
would consider her a major character now.
Yeah.
Because she has been on for 3 seasons and she's kind of stolen the spotlight. I feel like she's even more beloved than Murray.
Yeah, she is, I think. So I like a lot of people have Robin in their top 5 characters. Murray is like in a top 10 character conversation, but I never hear him top 5 conversation in terms of characters. So
yes, and my top 3, and if you know who my top 3 are.
Oh yeah, well, speaking of, that's actually a great transition because we'll move on to one of your top 3, which is Steve.
My number 1, Steve Harrington, number 1.
Well, now, because I know you love this character, what would be your percentage for Steve's death, and why do you think it could happen?
I'm gonna put him at 80%.
80.
Yeah. I think he's cooked. I think he's done. He's going to have a hero's arc, like going from shitty like douchey man from the first season to
Yeah.
finishing out his arc. Now, I could see him going out in two ways.
Mhm.
I could see him going out protecting Dustin, obviously. But what if he went out protecting Jonathan?
I like that theory better because one, he always treated Jonathan in season 1 as like kind of, like he
Yes.
bullied him and all this stuff. And I think now that with that change, it would really add to that redemption arc for him to treated Jonathan that way to then now make now actually literally give himself up for Jonathan.
And also, look at seasons 2, 3, and 4. He's really had not a lot of interaction with him and Jonathan.
That's true. Yeah.
So they have not really had that moment where he's like, "Man, I'm sorry. I was a douche to you. I'm sorry. I cannot believe I'm a new man now." And that is shown at the end of season 4 with like the reaction, with like the, remember when Jonathan comes back and he's talking to Nancy and she's like, "Oh, I was with Steve," and it's like, "Oh, you're the adult in that situation,"
And then
like,
and then but she's like, he's really like, changed a lot. And you see, Jonathan's face is like, really? But it would actually be evidence that he has changed a lot if he actually did give himself up for Jonathan. And I think that, Dustin wouldn't allow Steve to do that. So I think that you would be like, okay, well, he won't allow me to do it for Dustin.
If they did that, it would have to be kind of like, as I said, with another character prediction. He pretends to go along with Dustin's idea.
Yeah.
Pulls out a taser, tases him to the ground.
Yeah, or like, maybe whenever they're like going outside of a portal to go outside the Upside Down or something, he's like, "All right, man, I got you. I'm following you, Dustin. Let's go." And he's running with him and all that stuff. And then he pushes Dustin out and then it closes and then Dustin can't do anything about it. So he's just like, "No, Steve." And he's like banging on trying to open it. He can't get it open because it just closed up. And then Steve like decides to go out like a hero like that or something.
Yes. Yes. So I have that as that, honestly.
Yeah. I have him at 60 because which is still really high. So I have him as dying, but I think that there is maybe that chance that they decide to keep him alive because of him being a fan favorite. But yeah,
he's a fan favorite. Like, they know they're going to get a lot of buzz.
Oh yeah, that's why like if they killed him, it would not be until literally the end of Volume 2, like the last episode of Volume 2, or it would be in Volume 3, the finale. I don't think you would kill him off until any of those because if you killed him off as early as Volume 1, it would make people literally stop watching, and that would be like, you don't want that. So you would want to kill him off at a much later date if you were to do that. So, but next up we have another character. Andrew left. I don't know where he went, but that's fine. Another character we have is that we're going to talk about next is Robin's love interest, because she is in this season. We've seen her in some of the marketing. We have Vicky. This is the one that Robin is in love with, and I am going as low as 10%. I really don't see Vicky dying. I just don't really think there's any purpose to it. No really emotional merit. We haven't really gotten to know Vicky. I feel like they would want us to really get to know her first before they killed her off, stuff like that. Because even with new characters, they always have us get to know them before they kill them off. I really just think there's no narrative purpose for this at all. So for me,
the only narrative purpose I could see is one thing.
Is a Robin and her kind of romantic kind of,
is if they wanted Robin.
Oh, we there you are. Now you're back. You good, man?
Yes, if they wanted Robin to have like an emotional goodbye.
Yeah, I could. That's the only reason I see that happening. But I also think that out of all the couples in this show, I feel like they're the most safe in terms of Robin and Vicky.
Yes.
So I think that for me, I have Vicky as low as 10%. What would you have her?
I have her like 5%. Like I do not see Vicky dying.
Yeah.
Honestly, I do not see, unless they change, unless at the first half of season 1 of the first half of the season, they make her like this like important character.
Mm-hmm. So the next character we'll talk about is I think you find out it's like her brother or something, Derek Turnbow. This is a new character. We know what they like to do in new characters, but this is a new character who apparently is going to be Holly Wheeler's bully in school. So you're going to see him actually being this like bully character who eventually Mike is. That's one of the people who he's like guarding when he has his hands out in the trailer and such. He's this kind of fat kid with glasses on and such. So
I do not think that he's gonna die.
Yeah, I don't think he's gonna die, even though he's a new character. I still have him at like 36%. I'll
put him at 30%. I think the Duffers know the trend at this point.
Yeah.
So they're going to be like a hey, if we need to show them up this season.
And then also, I think in this case, because all the new characters that they have killed have either been adults or have been teenagers. Like Eddie, Barb were teenagers. Bob was an adult. This is actually going
Alexei?
Alexei. This is actually going to be a kid character who's a new character. So I think they're really going to be picky and choosy with the kid characters because they're going to want to make sure that it's like an older kid. And if he's like supposed to be in like Holly Wheeler's age, he's like I think even younger than what, or around that age. I think he's even supposed to be younger than Mike and all these other kids that are in the show. So I think if they're going to be picky, I think they're going to be picky and choosy with the kids. And I think that's why one of the original Kid Gang kids would die. But I don't think they're really going to kill off too many kids in this in this season. Next up, and we can definitely fly through these next two because they're much quicker kind of characters. But we have Dr. K, played by Linda Hamilton. I love Linda Hamilton. Got to meet her. She's really cool. She's a new character. She's this military kind of general, it looks like. Mm-hmm. And for me, a military general, we see Demogorgons break into this military facility in like episode 4 or something, or that's what I've heard. It's like in the trailer, but I have heard 100%. I do not think Linda Hamilton's making it out of the show. She is a military person.
I have her at 50% because her or the second in command, I say one of those two are going to die.
I think that, so they talked about at one point that this season will have the goriest individual death scene that they have ever done on the show. And I think that scene is going to come from episode 4, where the big military lab, Demogorgons break out into that military lab. I don't think everyone's like, oh no, what's going to happen to one of the kids? It's going to happen to yada yada. I don't think it's going to happen to any of our major characters that we love. I think the goriest death scene that is going to be in the show is going to be either Linda Hamilton's character or it's going to be that like second in command Lieutenant Akers or something.
I disagree. You know why?
Why?
If they want to make the goriest scene and have the most impact, imagine it happening to Steve. Like It's a character that we've loved. Imagine what happened to Max or Dustin or even Robin. Like, that would be just adding new layer to the goriness.
Yeah. Or
wouldn't
yeah,
just
or
be like
even if they decide to kill off, like Hopper or Murray in a very gory way, I could see something along those lines. But I do think though it's like we've seen before Linda Hamilton. She's known for like horror action stuff like this before. We've seen her die in gory ways. I think she would be down. She's the type of actress who would be down to like show up on set, say like, "Oh yeah, kill me off in a gory way. This is going to be really fun." And then they do it, and it's and it's a like a holy shit kind of thing. We'll see. I could also see Mike being that too, because it looks like he is going to be in the heat of this military breakout or something. That's like all these people are dying in this military breakout, so I could maybe see him being that death scene. We'll have to see. But yeah, Lieutenant Akers is next, and I have Lieutenant Akers also at 100%. With the military people, I just see the Demogorgons flying through them and eating them like candy. I just see them like boom, 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 one by one. And I have Lieutenant Akers, who is like the second chain of command to Dr. K's character. I have him at 100% chance of dying. So, what do you think for him?
I put both of them at 50%. I don't think that they'd kill off both of them.
Yeah.
I think one is gonna be alive, the other's not.
Yeah, I can see that. Next up, we have Colonel Sullivan, who is he's that black kind of military officer from season 4 who captured Dr. Owens, all that kind of stuff.
Don't think he's gonna be killed.
Oh, I think he is, because he's technically a bad guy, so I could see him getting killed off because he is technically a bad guy, and they are going to kill off.
But again, it would be killing the black guy.
But they'll make an exception for the bad guy. They're not going to kill off the black guy for Lucas or whatever, but they'll make an exception to kill off.
Is there a chance that he'll be redeemed?
There is a chance, like he could potentially be redeemed and such, but I mean, I think that when it comes to this, I think that you're going to still see several the people of color in the show, like Erica, Lucas. I think you're still going to see them alive and other characters, but I think that out of any person of color in the show, I think that Colonel Sullivan has the most chance of dying out of all of the people of color, because he is a soldier who's on the front lines, says that Lovin's a weapon, thinks that Lovin should die, all this type of stuff, wanted to go out there and kill her. So I don't know, he has that kind of vibe to him that I think I see him dying in that military breakout. He was literally only in one shot of the most recent trailer, which was the Volume 1 trailer. That's also why, because I think that, like, at least with Lieutenant Akers and Dr. K, they've shown up in other trailers. We didn't even know if Colonel Sullivan was coming back until the most recent trailer came out, which was the Volume 1 trailer. And then there was just one quick shot of him.
Wait. There's a Volume 1 trailer. All I saw was the new trailer.
Yeah, it's a Volume 1 trailer that shows you the first 4 episodes in a trailer.
Where? When did that out?
It's on YouTube. It came out like a couple of days ago. So
I need to watch that then.
Yeah, but but Colonel Sullivan, he's like in one quick second of it. So I'm just like, knowing he's in the trailer that short of a time, I think he's a goner personally. But I have him at 100. What do you have him at?
I have him at like, I'll say 50. I'll say like maybe 55%.
Yeah, I can see it, because even if he does get redeemed, I could still see him dying, like trying to save someone too.
Yes,
as like a redeemed thing too. Next up, we have, and we finally got confirmation that he is going to be in this season. They're not just going to leave that hanging, but Dr. Owens is coming back, played by Paul Reiser. Now, for me, I have Dr. Owens at like 90%. I think this is a character who you can kill off, and it would be like we would say, "Oh no, dang it, I like Dr. Owens," kind of deal, you know. But it wouldn't like devastate us, but we would be like, "Oh,
I
dang
I
it, I
agree.
liked him."
I agree.
And he's also that kind of character who, again, like Murray, he doesn't really have people waiting on him. He doesn't really have that big family life, all that type of stuff. So it's like so he is someone who is expendable as a side character that I think you can kill off. And I could see something where maybe he's trying to investigate things further, and then it backfires, and one of the things comes out and kills him or something. I could see that happening. I could see him even being the gory death. We'll have to see, but um, yeah, I'm at 90%. What do you have,
I
Doctor
have
Owens?
him at the same. I agree with you.
Yeah, yeah. I think there's a really good chance that Doctor Owens will bite the dust, and it'll be mildly sad for us because we do still like him. Um, but yeah, next up, I have Holly Wheeler. There's an episode titled "The Vanishing of," and apparently it's now titled "The Vanishing of," but when it was leaked online, it was titled "The Vanishing of Holly Wheeler," and then they deleted the Holly Wheeler part to just be now "The Vanishing of." So like we know it's Holly Wheeler that goes missing in this, and that she's gets taken at some point.
I
Um,
think she's too young to die.
I think she's way too young to die. I have her at 5% in case something happens, but to me, I think it's just so minimal that I do not see a chance that she dies. I think that she'll go through hell this season. I think she'll definitely go through hell like Will did, but I do not think she's going to die.
I
Uh,
have her at
so,
15 to 20% for one reason.
well,
Which
uh, what's your reason?
we have Ted Wheeler on this list.
Yeah, we do.
What if the death of her is the thing that makes him step up?
I could see that, but we're also going to be talking about another Wheeler here in just a second that I think could be the death that makes him decide to step up
Yes.
and all that stuff as well. So, but but I think Holly Wheeler, I think he'll see that she's taken away. I think in that scene, you'll see him going through the door or something, and he'll see her being actually drug off by Vecna or drug off by like the Demogorgon or whatever, and then try to like go out there and see if he can save her, but then it's too late by that time and she's already taken, and so he's just freaking out and he's like sitting all that stuff. So I think that could happen, and I think if anything, you might see even Nancy. We'll get to Nancy eventually, but I think you could even see Nancy of all people. I think you could like she would be willing to like go in there, actually rescue her sister, get her sister out of there, and then like her sister dies or Nancy dies saving her sister or something. I could see something along those lines happening more so than Holly. Um, so I, but yeah, that's my theories for that character. Next up, we have Karen Wheeler. This is the Mama Wheeler, the one that we all love. What are your predictions for Karen Wheeler?
70%, I think she's a goner.
70%. I have her literally at like I have her at 90. I have her at 95%. I did have her at 100% at one point, but I was like, I dropped it down a little bit in case maybe she just gets really badly injured. But apparently there was a leaked scene of Volume 1 that was leaked on like their TikTok page or something of Karen hiding in a full bathtub. So she's like actually hiding in water, holding Holly close to her chest or whatever, while a Demogorgon's trying to look around the house or look around the bathroom or something. And she's like hiding inside this water or something like that. And so I'm just like, oh boy, that Demogorgon, if it finds her, then she could be toast. And then that could also lead into the scene we see in the trailer where Nancy is washing her hands. And oh yeah, and this is that still image right here that I was talking about, where it's this scene here where she is holding Holly as she's trying to like hide underneath some water and such in her bathtub. And so that is something that I could see her being like taken out, thrown across the room or something, and like and there's a fight or something. Maybe she just gets really, really terribly badly injured, or she dies in the scene. I could see either scenario, but I do think she is a goner. And that is a death scene that you could do that would make us actually really feel emotional because, we've grown attached to Karen. She's one of the better parents in the show, and it would be really heartbreaking.
Yes.
But also something that could still drive forward. It could drive forward Nancy to really take him down. It could drive forward Holly. It could drive Ted. It could drive all these characters to actually step up and kill this actual evil that is in this that has been haunting Hawkins. So I have them there. For now, moving on to Ted Wheeler. So for Ted Wheeler, our good old "what did I do?" Ted, who's just kind of a ditz about everything. I have Ted at. I had her at 95. I have Ted at 80% because there's still that chance of what if like there's a knock on the door or something, and he's like, "I'll get it, honey," and he opens up the door, and then like a Demogorgon just rips off his head or something, and it's just like, "Oh my god," or something like that.
I would actually laugh.
I would be like, "Oh my god,"
that would be the funniest scene in the show.
That would be so funny, and so like he just
no, Fino, the only other thing that would be funnier.
What?
Demogorgon comes into the window. Holly and Karen are upstairs screaming. Cut downstairs. Ted just on his chair.
Yeah, and he's like
reading.
Ted's on his chair reading something, or he's like watching the TV. And he has it up super loud as they're all like trying to fight off the Demogorgon.
Yes. Or and then he's like, "Can you guys be quiet up there or something?"
Yeah, he's like, "Guys, can y'all like quiet down? Tell Holly to quiet down up there." Something like that. I can just easily see something like that happening.
That would also make me laugh. I'd be like, Demogorgon, please go downstairs and kill Ted Wheeler. But I am hoping that we see Ted actually become a better father this season.
Because even if it's like in his final moments, I think it would be great to see like maybe he does pull a stunt like that and we're like, "Oh my god, Ted, really?" And then he starts hearing more noise and he's like decides to actually go check it out. So he grabs like a baseball bat or grabs like a gun or something that he has in the house, and he goes to check it out and then sees that Demogorgon is like biting into Karen or something. And then maybe he's like, "Oh my god," and he like goes and he tries to like fight it and actually like shoot it, and he's like stepping up to the plate and he's actually trying to take down the Demogorgon, and then the Demogorgon like kills him and then runs off with Holly. I could see something like that happening. Or he goes in there to try to kill the Demogorgon and then he shows up too late, and then it's just like you see that brokenness in him, and they actually make him step up to the plate.
All these theories are making me more and more excited for tomorrow. I'm like I cannot wait to come back here this weekend and just talk about like all of these theories, like what happened, what may happen.
Oh yeah, no, I'm excited too, especially because we know that Ted and Karen Wheeler's fate will be determined in episode 2, knowing that that's like the vanishing of Holly Wheeler. Their fate will likely be determined early on, so we'll have to see where it lies. But what is your percentage for Ted Wheeler to die?
I have him at like 80% as well. And I believe I only have 2 more left, Nancy and Jonathan.
Yeah, we have Nancy and Jonathan as our next 2 big ones, and then we have Vecna that we can talk about briefly. But
yeah, I feel like Vecna. Can we talk about Vecna quickly because I have my thoughts on Vecna.
Yeah, we can.
100%. I feel like you have to kill the big bad.
Oh yeah, like
You,
he is
it's
he is for sure. I think gonna die. I don't think there's any chance. Our
he's
boy,
the biggest, like 100% in my opinion.
yeah,
Like Flea could be wrong about anybody else, but I do not see a show where Vecna like survives.
yeah. It's like Thanos didn't survive Endgame, and this is basically Thanos, but of Stranger Things.
Yes.
So I think that Vecna is gonna die at um at the hands of either Lovin, Will, or somebody like that. We'll see, but I think
Yes.
he is gonna die, and it'll be a really cool moment. Now on to Nancy Wheeler. We can talk about Nancy Wheeler real quick since we discussed the rest of the Wheelers. What do you think about her?
I have her at a solid 80%. I think that there's a good chance that she is going to die.
Yeah, I was almost tempted to go that route, but I'm gonna go for now a 66% for Nancy Wheeler because I think that there's a chance that maybe she gets out of there alive, but I just think that um like she is in the heat of battle basically in all the trailers this season. I think that she would lay her life on the line for Holly or for any of the people. One way they could handle this love triangle is maybe they have Jonathan and Steve both live, but then Nancy dies, and maybe that's their way of solving this love triangle. Is they're like, well,
Yeah.
if she can't have one or the other, then we'll have her make a sacrifice and die or something. So
Yes, I could see that.
Absolutely.
Jonathan, I have him at 45%. I just don't see him as. I see a lot like how they've treated him the past few seasons. I don't see him dying.
Yeah, I also have Jonathan at like a 45% as well. I think it's right under that 50% range, so it could happen, but I think it's
Especially
not.
to get back to season 1, season 2, Jonathan.
Yeah, but especially if we get back then, like he could sacrifice himself to save Will, to save Joyce, to save Nancy. I could see him, or maybe he decides to put his life on the line for Steve. I could see something along those lines happening. It would be, it would still be sad, especially for the other characters on the show. But I think that there's still a shot that he does survive. I mean, we have this shot in the trailer here that tells you somebody's making a sacrifice. I think it's Nancy in this scene, but it looks like one of them is about to make a sacrifice in this trailer and such, and they're just like crying, knowing that they're about to have these like final moments together or something. And but we'll see whenever it drops and see what that is supposed to be about. But yeah, I think that Jonathan will still make it out because there's also this shot in the trailer, and again, we talked pre-show that this could be a shot from. This could be maybe slightly earlier on, but I think that this is like a finale shot or something, and maybe he's like hugging Will, or maybe he's hugging someone close to him. So I think that Jonathan still is alive. We'll just have to see.
I think that second to last episode, they're realizing what they're about to do.
Yeah.
And they realize this is the last chance to have all together, and they're just embracing each other in one last moment, the calm before the storm.
Yeah, I could see that as well.
Because they would not show something from the end.
Yeah, they might show. I mean, obviously the trailer, the finale is long, so obviously they might show something from the finale, but I don't think they would show something from like the final few minutes. I think they would show. I think they would show something from like earlier on in the finale or something, in one of these trailers that we saw. So we'll have to see, but it's making me all the more nervous. But we are also. Real quick, we'll rapid fire if we think any of these characters, we'll just say whether they're likely or not very likely to return. So we have 8 who's rumored to come back. Do you think she is likely or not likely to return? 8, which was that girl from
I agree. I think she's gonna come back.
Yeah, I think for me she's a likely to come back. And then I put her a very likely. For Eddie Munson, now he is somebody who could either be a flashback, or apparently there is in D&D Vecna's assistant, which is someone who died, who he apparently made into a vampire. I forget the character's name in D&D, but it's like something hand, Vecna's hand or something is what it was called, and it was what his name was, I think. And he is this character who became this like undead vampire, and some people are thinking maybe Eddie Munson will be that.
I don't think so.
I don't think they're gonna do that. I do think I still have it as we will likely see him, but in a flashback form is what I think. So I think we'll at least get to see him in a flashback or in a vision that Dustin has or something. Like one of those, maybe Dustin gets possessed and lives, but he's just as imagining Eddie or something.
Yes.
Those kind of things. I could see that happening. Also one, because we have no actual confirmation about these two. I'm putting these two together. Officer Powell and Callahan, those 2 police officers that worked with Hopper in season 1 and everything. I
don't think they're important enough to die.
Not to die, but do you think they're coming back? Is what I'm saying.
I think they're gonna come back, but they're gonna be like, "Hey, Hopper, hey, well, what can we do?" Kind of a thing, you know?
Yeah.
Like they have like maybe 1 minute of screen time, maybe 2 in the whole, like under 5 minutes throughout the whole season.
Yeah, I think maybe they will show up in like the first episode during all the setup stuff, and then they just won't exist for the rest of the season, basically.
Or they'll be like in like a group of people, kind of a thing.
Yeah, or like they'll be there in the opening episode, they'll be there in the finale when things are wrapping up, and then that's like once they fix Hawkins, but then that's like going to be basically all of their scenes. So I do think it's likely, but it's just going to be very, very small. I don't think they're even going to be in the action or anything. So another character we have is Susie. Do we think that Susie is coming back?
I think so. Because her and Dustin are not together anymore.
Yeah.
I could see like I broke up with him kind of a thing, like a 2-second thing.
Possibly, but I think that Dustin could also just tell us that from the way he acts this season. Like maybe he's just too depressed and he's just like saying, I've already lost Susie, now I've lost Eddie, and just everything, in my life sucks right now. And he has that kind of personality. So I think that we are not going to see Susie this season, but I like her as a character. If she shows up as a cameo, I won't complain because she's fun. But another one was one that helped Hopper. Do we think Dimitri is coming back? The Russian guy who was in the jail with him.
Nope.
Yeah.
Nope. They're not in Russia anymore, and he's home with his family. I do not see Dimitri.
Yeah, I agree. I don't see any reason why Dimitri needs to really come back narratively. So I think that it's fine there. We already got confirmation that Argyle is not coming back, so Argyle is just out of the picture. I hate to break it to you, my dudes, but he is. So in terms of characters likely to come back or not likely to come back, that's really all the characters really that we can talk about. There's really not a whole lot else character-wise to talk about, but running through any other kind of final theories.
I still think there is a chance that we get to see Eddie, but what if we also saw Barb and Bob and Alexei? If they got the chance.
Yeah, there's a good chance that
have a
could be.
chance to like say communicate with either Nancy or Joyce, Murray or something,
or like they're
give closure.
We get closure with each of those characters where they get to see them like visions or something like that. I could see something along those lines happening.
Yes.
So, and then also I could see something like maybe Jane's mom popping back up in a flashback or in a vision or something along those lines. Well, since that's been kind of a part of her story.
Yes.
I could see that popping up at some point. But in terms of those characters that have been on the show come back, I mean, you can also see the same thing with Billy too. Maybe Billy gets that. But
yes.
I think they're done with the Billy stuff mostly. But
I don't have any other predictions other than that, really.
Yeah, I don't really have any other predictions. I've heard other theories going out saying that like you're gonna see flash forwards of the kids grown up, like almost like Harry Potter, and they're like living their lives in the 90s and Hawkins, and it's gonna be like the final scene or something.
I would like that, honestly. That would be cool.
That would be really cool. I think that could be a cool way to end it, is to have like recasted older versions or something of them, and something along those lines. I could definitely see that, or just use the same actors but just put makeup on them since they're already so old.
Yes.
I could see something along those lines. I did hear one person a few people make a theory saying that what if it's all just been one big D&D game, and it goes and you see them as adults and they're playing D&D, and it's like literally it's just been a campaign the entire show.
I don't think so. That would be like, oh, it was all a dream. That would be the version of that, and I don't think the Duffer Brothers would do that. They could pull it off possibly because it wouldn't be as bad as it was all just a dream, but I don't see them doing that, honestly.
I don't see that either. Just feel like a cop out. I mean, we've seen that stuff with 80s shows before, and it is a nostalgic show, but I just don't see it. I just don't see that happening. But in terms of that, I think that those are any of the other theories I wanted to bring up were pretty much those. We've covered basically all of our tracks on returning characters and on character deaths. I cannot wait now for Volume 1 to see tonight what happens actually in the first volume of Stranger Things. We're here after a 3-year-long wait, guys. Cannot believe it's finally happening. But
what I love most is that these episodes are pretty long, so it's not like, oh, the 30-minute episodes.
Yeah, they're pretty long, and so we'll actually, have that time to marinate on them, to watch them, to then come here over the weekend and give you guys our full breakdown of Volume 1, and then we're going to give you guys a full breakdown of all the volumes as they come out. And I cannot wait now for Season 5. The wait is finally over.
Yes.
Tune in tonight, guys, at 8:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for Stranger Things 5, and then come back here on the channel this coming weekend, where we will be breaking down Volume 1 for you guys, and then we'll see who has been the most right so far in terms of, and then see if we want to change up any of our predictions for Volume 2. So should be a fun one, guys. Thank you all for tuning in and for watching this video. I know it was a long one, but this is Stranger Things Day, so we're all excited and excited to discuss Stranger Things, to watch this, and cannot believe it's over, guys. But what an experience it's been, and we are not done with this review series yet. But man, cannot wait. Thank you all for tuning in, guys. For more Stranger Things coverage, be sure you like this video, subscribe, share, ring that notification bell so you do not miss a video, guys. And thank you for joining me, Andrew.
You're welcome. I love Stranger Things.
Oh, yes. And we will see you all in the next video, guys. Until then, Don't be a stranger and stay classy, my friends.